Fine, as long as somebody's getting points. Honest question, Mark. How many times during this movie did you cry?
I was holding back tears, like big, thick tears that were about to start bursting out at the end. Did it hit you guys pretty hard at the end? I was like, damn.
It's a Pixar movie. Of course it did.
I know. I don't know.
There's always a lesson in a Pixar movie.
Just being a dad and having a son now and just knowing, like...
You're going to be the worst person ever now, aren't you?
Oh, man.
All right, let's talk about Onward. This is...
Talk about it.
On Rotten Tomatoes, currently 86%, 96% from fans. Pretty standard for a Pixar movie, I think. You saw the early reviews were coming out, though, and they were talking about how it's like a recycled formula and, you know, it's nothing new. Like, yeah, that's what every movie is. There's nothing is an original idea anymore. And even in this case...
more original than... This is, like, the lesson behind it was more original than a lot of Disney Pixar movies. I thought that it had its own little turn.
I mean, at the end of every Pixar movie, somebody realizes, like, oh, this thing that I needed was there all along. And
right.
That's how Pixar movies go. And this was one of the most original takes on that idea that I've seen. So I don't understand the people knocking it like that.
I don't think we've actually had anything where, like, a parent has passed away and then it's touching on, like, how your siblings kind of shared that closeness to where they could fulfill the role of a parent type thing. I don't think they've really touched on that, and that's what I pulled from it. Like, I disagree. Maybe like the Lego Movie, where, you know, the wasn't it like the little kid and the sister?
Yeah, they hated each other.
The brother was giving shit to his sister, and then finally they got along at the end. But I don't know, I thought this was pretty original.
Well, let's set this up. Okay, this is directed by a guy named Dan Scanlon, who also did Monsters University for Pixar. So obviously there's a connection there.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty good, if not lean, voice cast, I would say.
I really like the voice cast.
So Tom Holland is Ian. He's your main character. Chris Pratt was my favorite as Barley, the older brother. He was
all day.
Full Andy Dwyer, like Parks and Rec in this. Just ridiculous over the top.
He was very into D&D.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you guys both really love that part.
Oh, I'll get to that. We have Julia Louis-Dreyfus as the mother. Octavia Spencer's in there, Mel Rodriguez, and Ali Wong makes an appearance. Tracy Ullman was in there as the shop owner. That was weird. But yeah, I thought they did overall a really good job. So the story here is that Ian and Barley's dad died before Ian was born, so he never got to meet him. Ian turns 16. The mom is like, you know, your dad wanted me to give you this on your 16th birthday, and it's a magic staff. And the premise is they have one day to go find this gem to bring their dad back, you know, just for one day. So obviously the antagonist here is time.
Yep.
And there's some other obstacles along the way. It's ridiculous. They're set in this world where they're elves, and it's just like a magical fairyland. And the opening setup was great. I really like the premise that people used to do magic, but then technology came around and they were like, well, this is easier, so fuck magic. And then magic fades away.
Yeah.
I really like that premise.
That made a lot of sense too. Yeah.
So, Brick, what was your overall take on this movie?
I enjoyed it, but I thought it was like fine. Like, it got me at the end, obviously, and I thought it was a great like twist, more or less. I don't want to call it a twist. It wasn't really a twist, but it was like a good change of pace. I thought, again, Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, the voice acting was fantastic. One you forgot to mention, the one that I actually recognized in the whole thing, I was like, is that Fez from that 70s show?
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I looked at it. But
Wilmer Valderrama or whatever his name is.
Remember that Yo Mama show that he did?
It.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. Also terrible. Go ahead, Brick.
So yeah, overall, I thought it was good. I thought like the lesson behind it was actually good too. Like you know, Billy, he's my younger brother, so I kind of got that older brother, younger brother type of thing. Like, gotta keep him tough, you know. Even though I did, when he has a dad, so it's just one of those things where you kind of look at it from that perspective. And did you take it from you took it from a dad point of view, right, Mark?
Of course.
Obviously,
it's the only way I can take anything nowadays.
Shut the fuck up.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I think that's really about all I can really say about it, though.
Wow. Okay. Not a really resounding positive there, but
Yeah, no, it was good. It was like fine though. I did watch it with that girl who I threw into a wall. She's
so
a
you were
metal
worried the
chick too,
entire
so
time that she was going to call the police?
yeah. Um, so I tried to hold my tears back, but I did give a little single tear down my face because it was too sweet. It was too too touching at that one point, and I was like, "Ah."
I mean, there were a lot of different scenes, not just the ending in this. Like, there are sacrifices that are made. There are conflicts between the brothers that like kind of make you feel some stuff. There's a sacrifice of an inanimate object that made me feel that had a really good. I mean, like the lead up to it, you knew it was coming, and it was still like, this is fucking awesome. I really like this movie.
I really enjoyed the side characters too. I love the sprites, like the mini voices they had, just like yelling and bitching at everyone. And then I liked Octavia Spencer as Manticore.
She was
I
good.
thought she had a good character, and they didn't overuse her.
It was a good little B plot, like
Yes.
the team up of the mom and the Manticore, like to go try and find the boys. That was like a sufficient side plot.
And yeah, I have to give it to Chris Pratt. I want to hear him in more voice animated or just doing more voice acting. He was great. And overall, I liked the story. I thought it was pretty original for how many different animated movies we're getting each year. And I liked the lore they were using and the spells that they were referencing back, and just Chris Pratt's character loving the whole D&D stuff and nerding from that standpoint. I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was.
Same, especially considering what the early reviews were. I actually went to see this with Joe and Elise. Joe's our dungeon master for our regular game. Elise is in our party, and the entire time we were just like looking at each other like, fuck, it's a really good reference.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're walking out of it, and Elise is looking, and I'm like, you can't fucking use that in all of our campaigns because I'm going to know it's coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to know there's going to be a gelatinous cube coming. And
Hilarious.
of course, Joe has like a plastic gelatinous cube that you can open the top on and put a character in.
And I would say that is the funniest villain to have in the D&D universe. Is just a gelatinous cube. It just disintegrates everything in front of you.
If you think about it, it's just the blob, and it's terrifying, right?
Yeah,
Disintegrates.
getting caught up in that acid. Woo.
Yeah, an unstoppable force that you have no defense against except for to run. And if you're in a confined space, you're fucked.
Yeah, and of course it's in a dungeon, so
There you
always
go.
should be confined.
Yeah, I did not expect that going into this. I didn't realize how heavily it was going to lean on that sort of thing. I like how they tied that into it. Yes, of course, it's just a game, but it's based on reality in this movie. So that kind of ties it together so that it makes more sense. The idea of having, a path less traveled or a less obvious path, and that's how you get there. I really liked all of those elements to this movie.
I agree. I had a great time, and I cried.
Okay.
Did we all cry? Smithers didn't cry. He has no soul.
I had a tear. I had a little tear. I don't have daddy issues, though. I was thinking
not a dad just yet. He'll understand, though, when that time comes.
I don't have daddy issues either.
I fucking hate you. You know what I hate most about you having a kid before me? Is that you're going to try and give me advice.
Oh, my God. I'm going to solicit so much advice.
When in reality, you're probably going to be the worst
advice.
dad ever. Your kid's going to walk into your office and you just be like, get away from my Batman statues.
No. I'm just going to show you up. I'm going to come over with like fucking my mitt in baseball, and I'll be like, let's go play some catch out back. And I'll teach him how to throw a curveball and stuff. And he'll be like, Dad, why don't you know how to throw a splitter? And I'll be like, don't worry about that.
You couldn't fucking throw a splitter if your life depended on it. Piece of shit.
I would love to have that happen, and like Smithers like gets home from work, and you're just in his backyard without him knowing, and you're just playing catch with the boy. God, get out of my fucking lawn, Mark.
Uncle Mark taught me how to throw a knuckleball. Just like it's all in the fingernails.
Yeah, it just breaks the window. You're like, all right, see you, Smithers.
Yeah.
All right, back to the matter at hand, though. Do you guys want to see a sequel to this movie?
Yes. I'm for it.
What would it be? What would you want the sequel of?
That's the thing, though, is basically you're drawing from a universe of Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. Obviously, you can't directly reference that, but you've already built the universe. The lore is there, Brick. So you can basically just start up a simple story, a new campaign, if
a
you
new
will.
quest.
Wow,
super simple.
So when he goes to college, and Barley just like crashes. What's up, dude? It's rage. I'd see that.
The real quest was for friendship.
Aw,
Brotherhood.
rainbow. So we
Great.
gonna rate this?
See it. Fuck coronavirus. Go to the theater and see this movie.
I will
Stream it. I
This
think you should
is-
stream it.
Can
I
you
thought it was
fucking
pretty good,
believe
but
this guy?
I think you can wait for Disney Plus.
Rick, -2 points for you on that. Sorry.
Still
Yeah,
killing it.
dude.
It's fine.
It's so weird that like Mark and I agree on most movies, and then you're just the polar opposite on fucking everything. You're like, no, I fucking loved it. It was rad. I love the lore. And we're just like, dude, this movie was a piece of shit. And we get an actual good movie. And now you're like, nah, fuck it. Don't care.
All right, roll.
I'm busy. I got to go push some girls into a wall.
It's not. Let's not.
Assault.